Hello, Westford. We have highlights of the Selectmen's meeting. 2 citizens petitions regarding Drew Gardens have been filed for the upcoming annual town meeting, and applications are being accepted now for community garden plots. I'm Ira Keltz, and it's time for WestfordCAT News. The Board of Selectmen met on Tuesday, January 24th. Here's our news director, Joyce Polino-Crane, with details.
Thanks, Ira. Selectmen focused on the 2 upcoming town meetings. First, they addressed the citizens' petition for the special town meeting on February 6th, and then they reviewed the 28 warrant articles for the annual town meeting on March 25th. There is only one measure being taken up at special town meeting next month. It's Elisa Nakashian-Holzberg's petition to amend the town's legal affairs bylaw. That bylaw, it authorizes selectmen to settle matters and reach agreements. Nakashian-Holzberg, she wants language added that requires town meeting approval for a settlement of $100,000 or more, and under certain circumstances, it would also require a public hearing. She said she filed the petition partly because selectmen settled a 6-year legal battle behind closed doors with Newport Materials owner Richard D. Felice. He wants to build an asphalt plant on Groton Road. The settlement, it angered residents this fall when it was announced. But things have settled down since then. Here's Nakashian-Holzberg.
We don't want to come to town meeting with something that isn't well thought out. We knew there were some flaws, you found some flaws, and so I want to thank you for collaborating on this, because as I've said to you individually, I'd like to work with you so that your successors don't need to bear the burden of the kinds of agreements or settlements you've had to make in private, in secret, without being able to reach out to someone else and say, what do you think?
Here's Chairman Andrea Perriner-Sweet explaining the special town meeting process.
What will come to the floor of the town meeting is the original petition that was filed by the petitioners. And then one of the petitioners will then move to amend the petition article to amend it with this language. And then my understanding is then town meeting will proceed as we usually do, with discussion on the amendment first, and then a vote on the amendment.
Selectmen also closed the annual town meeting warrant. During the review, they discussed the freight lift on the bandstand in the Common and whether to ask the Community Preservation Committee for $20,000 to improve the lift's safety. Town Manager Jody Ross, she was in favor of the upgrade. Ellen Hardy, a member of the Common Restoration Project, she was against it.
I had raised an issue that I was concerned about the safety of the shorty lift or the scissors lift. And so we've done some research on this. I did provide in your packet, I did have our building inspector take a look at it. We did reach out to our elevator inspector. We also reached out to town council. My primary concern is the safety of the lift. The secondary concern is the potential liability to the town by operating a lift that is not deemed safe.
I also maintain at your December 13th meeting that the lift does not have to meet state elevator inspection standards for safety, because the Department of Public Safety, at a hearing held that I attended with Bob Schaffer of the Westford Historical Commission, their Public Safety Board ruled in October of 2008 that the lift is not an elevator. Therefore, it does not have to comply with elevator regulations.
Selectman Mark Cost, he sorted it all out with his motion.
So I would be okay for the time being not applying to the CPC. However, we need a maintenance company to maintain this thing annually. not the highway department. And so I will say it's conditional upon us allocating some money in the budget and finding somebody who's going to do it that would be under the auspices of the town manager, not any subcommittee.
The vote was unanimous in favor of the motion. You can watch the entire Selectmen's meeting on WestfordCAT.org.
Annual town meeting voters will decide whether to approve a request to build a 15,000 square foot restaurant on 9 acres known as Drew Gardens. Developer Abby Masaladon's attorney has filed 2 citizens petitions regarding the parcel. The Boston Road property was protected in the late 1990s under 3 agricultural preservation restrictions. The first petition would amend one of those restrictions so that a portion of the land could be developed. The second petition would empower selectmen to ask the state for an alcohol license for the restaurant. Here's Masaladon's attorney, Paul Alphin, with more information about the restaurant and the citizens' petitions.
So one of the first things that Abby did was to seek an outside opinion from who I believe is the state's foremost authority on the matter, Attorney Greg McGregor, to try to get a definitive answer on what it took to amend an APR. After the holidays, we were expecting the legal opinion, but checking the schedule for town meeting, we saw that the warrant was going to close. And so I submitted a request to the Board of Selectmen that they place 2 articles on the warrant. One, to proceed with an amendment to the APR that will allow a much smaller restaurant without a function room. Matter of fact, the proposed footprint is now less than 1/2 the size of the one that was proposed last spring.
So it's just over 8,000 square feet?
Just over 8,000 square foot building footprint, no more function room. And it wouldn't be any good to have a restaurant without a full liquor license. So we also proposed that the selectmen place on the warrant an article to seek permission from the legislature to have an additional liquor license.
Annual town meeting takes place on Saturday, March 25th at the Abbott School on 25 Depot Street. The meeting opens at 10 a.m. WestfordCAT will record the entire meeting and make it available to viewers at WestfordCAT.org. The Agricultural Commission is accepting applications for plots at the community garden at the intersection of Graniteville and Cold Spring Roads. Here's Agricultural Commission member Christine Berthold with details.
The basic plot is 15 by 15 feet. Okay, so you have the opportunity to lease a 15 by 15 plot, a 30 by 15 plot, or a 30 by 30 plot.
What are the prices for those?
Right, so for a 15 by 15 plot, it is $25 for the season, $50 for the twice that amount, and $100 for the 30 by 30 plot.
Okay, and so that I don't forget before the end of this interview, how do people get in, who do they get in touch with to rent a plot?
Of course, and so I would encourage people to do that as soon as possible because the registration period is open. Half the plots are already spoken for, so you'd want to go to the Westford Town website, look for the Agricultural Commission, and the application form is there.
Okay, and the Westford Town website is westfordma.gov.
Correct.
A local businessman is making his mark in the digital marketing world and hiring local talent to help him run the business. Westford resident Brian Mahoney stopped by the WestfordCAT studio on January 20th to tell us about his Westford-based company, Trender Research, and how it's changed and grown since he founded it several years ago.
What are you doing? What is Trender Research now?
Well, what I realized was that research and content itself is not terribly valuable unless there's a community that consumes it, that maybe even participates in it. So I learned a lot of the lessons about social media and how important it is to have a community. And by a community, it's an email list, it's different social media accounts on LinkedIn, Twitter, Facebook, whatever it might be. And that's really how you reach out to people and engage them. It's all about engagement. So we did want to incorporate research, but we wanted it to be broader than just our industry report. And so instead of doing these 50, I don't forget how long yours were, 50, 100-page reports, we wanted to build a community that first started with a conference, and then would build publications, magazines, webinars, white papers, and do all that with the community, and so the social network is the center to everything.
WestfordCAT would like to correct the record from the January 20th news show. The governing body overseeing an application for converting a property at 132 Carlisle Road to a for-profit recreational center is the Zoning Board of Appeals. The property is 27.5 acres, and the application is for a use variance. We'll update you on any new developments regarding this application. Hey, do you have an opinion about a Westford-related matter that you'd like to share with the community? WestfordCAT welcomes your letters to the editor and commentaries. If you'd like to use WestfordCAT News as a platform for your thoughts, email News Director Joyce Polino Crane for the guidelines at jcrane@westfordcat.org. And don't forget to visit westfordcatnews.org for the latest news stories. Here's an update from Town Hall.
Hi, I'm Jody Ross, Westford Town Manager, here to give you a little update. A couple of interesting things we have going on are our town meetings, and we have a special town meeting coming up on February 6th. I encourage everyone to go. We need 200 registered voters to start the meeting. It will be held at the Abbott Gymnasium, Abbott Elementary. So and it's on at February 6th, as I said, at 7:30 at night. And really, this is a citizen petition, and the citizens have called the special town meeting. There is 200 citizens required to call one. And there is an amendment to our general bylaw, Chapter 33, Legal Affairs. And the citizens proposed a new bylaw. And the Board of Selectmen, or a couple of the members of the Board of Selectmen, and I worked with the proponents, and we came up with some language that both sides agreed to. So there will be an amendment made at town meeting floor, and we are sending you a postcard to advise you of the meeting and these changes, which you shall receive in your mailbox shortly. Then we have our annual town meeting coming up, which is March 25th, and that is on a Saturday at 10 a.m. in the same location. A couple of interesting articles. Of course, we set our annual budget at that town meeting, so it's really important for you to come and to give us your input and vote your conscience. But there's some other interesting things that will be on that warrant. The selectmen are beginning to discuss them now. They closed the warrant at a meeting held last night on January 24th. So we have a fire truck that we're asking you to fund for $615,000. The Westford Academy has been working with its wastewater and the Department of Environmental Protection, and we're asking you for $500,000 to help for a new treatment plant facility at that site, or an upgrade. We also are looking at replacing the Prospect Hill water tank, which will be a $2.5 million expenditure. So all those things, we need your input. There is a proposal to renovate the Rodenbush building, which is located at 65 Main Street, the big, large, brown Victorian building that is a sense of pride of our community. That's a $7 million project that we have gone to the Community Preservation Committee and asked for their support for the funding to renovate and rehabilitate that building. That will be an interesting discussion at town meeting. Strongly encourage you to come to our town meeting. It's always an interesting, lively discussion, and your vote is needed to do the town's business. So I hope to see you there. Thank you.
We survived another nor'easter earlier this week. Now, Joe Seppi will tell us what's in store for the next few days.
Hello, Westford. This is Joe Seppi with the weather forecast for this weekend, the week of January 30th. It looks like there will be brighter skies during the day and cooler temperatures in the teens some nights. Here's what is coming up. On Saturday, there will be sunshine in the morning with some clouds in the afternoon. The high will be 37 degrees and a low of 25 degrees. On Sunday, there will be mostly sunny skies with a high of 38 and a low of 19. On Monday, it will be another mostly sunny day with highs around 35 and low around 20. On Tuesday, it will be some sun mixed with clouds during the day. The high will be 37 and low 24. On Wednesday, it will be partly cloudy again with a high of 37 and a low of 18. On Thursday, the forecast is for mostly sunny skies. The high will be 31 and low 16. On Friday, sunshine mixed with clouds during most of the day. The high will be 31 and low around 15. That was your Westford weather. Have a great week, everyone.
Here's Rekha Sharma with this week's health tip.
Hi everyone, I'm Rekha Sharma, back with a new health tip for WestfordCAT News. Today I'm going to talk about mushrooms. Mushrooms are a rich source of copper and selenium. Mushrooms are low in calories and promotes insulin formation. It is rich in anti-cancerous compounds and reduces blood pressure. It is a natural vasodilator. It strengthens immunity and bone health. Always avoid eating discolored ones or the ones which are different in color than the typically accepted color of the species or handpicked. Add some mushrooms in your diet to get the benefits, and if you have any allergies, please contact your healthcare provider. I'll be back with a new health tip. Bye for now.
The Lowell Humane Society has many pets that can be adopted. This week, Patty Stalker introduces us to Sweet Pea, a 3-year-old tabby.
I stopped by the Lowell Humane Society on Broadway Street in Lowell recently, where marketing and fundraising manager Crystal Arnott introduced me to an affectionate 3-year-old tabby named Sweet Pea.
So this is Sweet Pea. Sweet Pea is about 3 years old, and she was found living in a feral cat colony with some feral cats, but she is very obviously not a feral cat. We believe that she may have escaped from someone's house and got lost and decided to hang out with those feral cats because she found a good food source. But the people that were feeding there realized that she is definitely not feral. We tried to find her family. We posted, when she came in, and we've had her for a little bit of time now. And unfortunately, no one has come by to claim her, which really surprises us because she's incredibly sweet. When she first got here, she was very, very matted, so we suspect that she has been out there on her own for quite some time. And she got kind of stressed out when she first got here, and she was having trouble eating. I think she was just overwhelmed from being in the shelter environment. But she's eating well now, and we've groomed her down. That's why she's shaven. So once she grows in and has someone taking care of her and brushing her on a regular basis, I think she'll have a really beautiful coat. She's very soft. She's eating now for us without any issues, and she's incredibly sweet. Since she did live with other cats in that feral cat colony and got along with them, we believe she would do well in a home with another cat. But we don't have any experience of her with any other animals just yet. She's a very curious girl, very playful, and she loves to be pet. She doesn't mind being held. She doesn't like it for long periods, but she'll tolerate it for a couple of minutes while you give her a little snuggle. But I have no doubt she would definitely be a lap cat.
To learn more about Sweet Pea or any of the other pets available now for adoption, or to find out how to donate, volunteer, foster a pet, or fill their wish list, go to lowellhumanesociety.org or visit them at 951 Broadway Street in Lowell. Call 978-452-7781. For WestfordCAT, I'm Patty Stalker.
And now here's Sarah Fletcher with this week's events around town.
Thanks, Ira. I'm Sarah Fletcher, WestfordCAT's Marketing Outreach Manager, with things to know and do around Westford. Have you ever thought about getting more involved in town government? Town Manager Jody Ross has listed a number of openings on local boards and committees, including the Affordable Housing Committee, Agricultural Commission, and Historical Commission. There are also openings on the Bylaw Review Committee, the Energy Committee, and the Parks and Recreation Commission. Find a complete list and link to the Citizens Activity Forum at westfordcatnews.org. Westford Partnership for Children is offering 4 days of special programs during school vacation week between February 21st and 24th. If your elementary or middle school student is looking for activities, please call the Parks and Rec Commission at 978-692-5532 or go to westfordrec.com and click on Activities. There will be a trip to the Science Center, a tubing recreational facility, a movie theater, and a bowling alley. Each day will run from 8 a.m. to 5:45 p.m. Children can sign up for the week or for individual days, and you do not need to be a WPCA participant to enroll. A jazz quartet is coming here to the Parish Center for the Arts on February 18th. The Rhythm Future Quartet will begin performing at 7 p.m. Purchase tickets at westford.org/PCA or by calling 978-692-6333. Admission is $18 for PCA members, $20 for non-members, and $5 for teens. Audience members are welcome to bring their own dinner and alcoholic or non-alcoholic beverages. For more information about the performers, you can go to rhythmfuturequartet.com. That's all for now. Back to you, Ira.
And that's a wrap for this week, Westford. We leave you today with scenes of our own hometown, Westford.